Three topics to get to in today's Dolphins Today by Chat Sports. I am Nick Roloff. One, Miami Dolphins training camp news. We'll touch on that to start off today's show. De'Von Achane, is he going to be playing wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins? Yes, you heard that correctly. He had an interesting quote that I wanted to touch on. And then Liam Eichenberg, who has been all over the place and on the Dolphins offensive line in his first 3 years. He wants his shot to be the starting right guard. We'll talk about what he had to say and if he deserves that shot at the end of today's video. Well, let's get right into the training camp dates because the rookies for the Miami Dolphins are reporting on July 16th, which is relatively early. Some teams don't have their rookies reporting till July 21st, so Dolphins getting a little bit of a head start with their first-year guys, and that means we're less than a month away from them reporting, and I could not be fired up for that more. You also saw on your screen that the veterans are reporting a week later as a standard procedure on July 23rd. So, like I mentioned, we are legitimately under a month away from Dolphins football. You'll see all the UDFAs and the 7 draft picks Miami made in late April. Head to South Florida, start preparing, getting ready for the first preseason game on Friday, August 9th against the Atlanta Falcons, and then hopefully they can get ready to go for the regular season when they get it started September 8th against the Jacksonville Jaguars, under a month away from Dolphins football. I'm fired up. And are you fired up? Come on, baby. Are you excited for Dolphins training camp to get underway in less than 1 month? Less than 4 weeks? I can't believe it. Type me if you're excited because I know I am. All right, let's get to De'Von Achane now because is he going to play some wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins? Yeah, that is a real thing. And he had this quote about his potential offensive role in 2024 and something that really caught my eye. He said that just me lining up at different positions as far as like receiver, running routes and stuff, that's something that we're doing different this year. So that's something that I've been doing in the offseason. And the first thing that came to mind after hearing that De'Von Achane has been running routes in the offseason, whether it be in OTAs, minicamp, or in his own free time, is that, to me, I think he could legitimately have a Christian McCaffrey type ceiling in this offense. He's got the speed, he's got the elusiveness, he's got the quick twitchy ability to make people miss in the open field very easily. I mean, we saw how he was able to just break a free and have massive plays last year, damn near averaging 8 yards a carry for the Dolphins on the ground. Like, if he starts getting more involved in the passing game, he could become one of the biggest dual-threat running backs in the NFL, and in an offense that prides itself in stretch zone runs and quick plays out of the backfield and quick throws in the intermediate portion of the field, I can see Achane getting a lot of these dump downs. And remember, Mike McDaniel comes from that Kyle Shanahan type of offense where Christian McCaffrey currently plays in with San Francisco. So I believe he can really be that massive dual threat that the Dolphins are hoping he can be. And I have some projections for Achane in 2024. And if you know what his first year numbers are, sure, some of the raw numbers are down in terms of rushing yards. He had 800 rushing yards in 2023, but I also don't think it's sustainable that he's going to be able to run for 7.8 yards per carry like he did a year ago. So 140 carries, 714 yards, which comes to about a 5.1 yards per carry basis, 11 total touchdowns, but I do believe he will get a massive uptick in the receiving game. He only had 27 catches last year. I get that up to 39. He only had about 190 receiving yards last year. I think that almost doubles to 327. Like, I think he's going to be much more dynamic in the passing game, and you might ask why? Well, linebackers simply just cannot run with Achane. If they line him up in the slot, they line him up out of the backfield and run Texas routes or swing routes or curl routes or whatever you want to do, it just simply cannot be defended by slow-footed linebackers. And yes, linebackers are getting more athletic as the time goes on in the NFL, but Achane's a sub 4.3 guy here. Like, they just simply can't keep up with him. So I'm imagining a lot of slants, a lot of drag routes from the slot in some different type formations in this Mike McDaniel offense. But if they also run some wheel routes where they get him matched up one-on-one with the linebacker, good night. Him and Tua can connect in the passing game quite a bit. I think Achane's going to have a massive year as the Swiss Army knife, if you will, in this Mike McDaniel offense. Another stat that I wanted to show with the Dolphins fans that makes it so fascinating with De'Von Achane is that as a rookie, he lined up in the slot or wide out on 100 out of 300 snaps in 2023. That is the second and was the second highest among RBs with 50 or more carries. So as a rookie, he was the second, at least highest, running back playing wide receiver alignment, if you will. So you don't think that's going to increase with another year in this offense and another year of working on his route running technique and getting his hands more steady? Like, he is going to be asked to do more and more in the receiving game. I think he's very capable of doing that. Him and Jalen Wright, who they drafted in the 4th round, are both very good in the pass game. So you get those two mixed in with Raheem Mostert running in between the tackles, which he was so good at a year ago. This Dolphins running back room is going to be absolutely dominant. We are getting very close to Dolphins training camp, and you should be subscribed to the channel. You want daily content on the Miami Dolphins. Live shows on a weekly basis every Tuesday. Videos every single day. This is the channel for you. Hit that sub button and join us here at Dolphins Today because we got the best coverage on YouTube. All right, let's close out the show with Liam Eichenberg. Is he going to be the starting right guard for the Miami Dolphins? He believes he deserves a shot at those honors. He recently caught up with Omar Kelly of the Miami Herald and shared this on his potential future. He said, I know the offense. I know how to run the offense. I'm kind of going to be out there eventually, hopefully at guard. And my first reaction to this is, does he deserve to be the right guard? Probably not. Like, he doesn't deserve it. But I'm all for competition. Like, I think every single position should be up for grabs. And you might hear that and say, well, that's not true. Like, Tua's not going to be benched for Skylar Thompson or Mike White. Like, yeah, sure, but unless your name is like a Tyreek Hill or Tua, like, your position is not safe on this roster. So Robert Jones, who I have slated as the starting right guard right now, I don't think should feel comfortable about that. And Liam Eichenberg will have a chance during training camp to prove he is a potential candidate to be the starting right guard. We'll talk more about him and what he has done in his career in the past. That is Liam Eichenberg. But I want to make sure you get this Dolphins t-shirt combo because it is currently $25 off. Yes, you heard that correctly. Usually $60 for these two t-shirts. Right now, $35 at chatsports.com/Dolphins combo. Get yours today. Link is in the description and comments of today's video. One more time, chatsports.com/Dolphins combo. We have talked ad nauseum about this starting offensive line, and I think you're going to have the first or 4 out of the 5 completely set, right? Austin Jackson, Teron Armstead are guaranteed to be starting at the left tackle and right tackle position outside of injury. Aaron Brewer, who you signed to a 3-year deal to replace Connor Williams, will be your starting center. Isaiah Wynn will likely get the starting left guard spot. I don't really think that's a competition. But Robert Jones, who is he a clear-cut starter? No. Jack Driscoll. We mentioned Eichenberg. Lester Cotton. Those 3 guys will have a chance to unseat Robert Jones as the potential starting right guard. It's very obvious when you look at this room. There is no clear-cut starter. And we as Dolphins fans has raised our concern, and we've talked about how it's not the best thing in the world that there is right guard spot is this weak, but I've also mentioned you can't have a perfect starting lineup. There's always going to be one position that lacks behind. That's right guard. So the competition will be there, and I'm intrigued to see who's able to emerge out of it in training camp that gets underway in just about a month. Let me know, though, would you give Liam Eichenberg a shot at right guard? Type Y for yes, type N for no. He's been with the Dolphins for 3 seasons. Let me know if he should be the starting right guard. As we continue to go out throughout this discussion, I think it's important to look at what Eichenberg's done throughout his career because he has not been the best for Miami. And just this pure PFF grades, which is not the end-all be-all, but I did want to bring him up, they're not pretty. His best year is actually as a rookie in 2021 when he played left tackle, at least in terms of grading system, posting up a 50.8 overall, 58 run block, and a 46.9 pass block. He also played the most that year, playing almost exclusively at left tackle. Then had to play left guard in 2022, and then play a different array of positions in 23, where he played a little bit of right guard, mostly center, though, in relief for Connor Williams after he got hurt. But the raw projections and numbers show this, and it's not taking a rocket scientist to admit this. Just use your eyes as well when you watch him on the football field every Sunday. This has not been that good throughout his career, and sure, I think he deserves a shot to be the starting right guard, trying to prove himself one last time, but I don't think there's any notion out there from the front office, the coaching staff, or the fan base that Eichenberg should just be handed the right guard spot. I will say this about Eichenberg. I do like the versatility he provides, and I'm a versatility guy. Like, if you can be versatile for anything, really, football, life, like, I like it. And he's been able to play different positions throughout his career. Left tackle, he's played 945 snaps. Left guard, 702. Center, 592. Hasn't played as much on the right side, but he still has logged a decent amount of snaps over his career. Like, I do like the fact he can play everywhere, and maybe he does deserve a shot at right guard, which we'll probably see that during training camp. It'll be one of the most important storylines of the entire Dolphins preseason and training camp. Who is going to be the starting right guard? I expect Eichenberg to get some snaps there, but he's also the primary backup center, and it is important to have one of those. So Eichenberg's going to have a role on this team. Will it be starting right guard? That we don't know. But make sure you are subscribed to the channel, because we'll let you know when it is kind of announced at the end of August who made this roster, who didn't make this roster, and how this team will shape out heading into Week 1 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. We will keep you updated, as well as be live for all the preseason games. So hit that sub button. We'll see you with the video tomorrow. Go Fins.